Hey everyone, and welcome to Never Split the Party. This is our Starfinder show, Mostly Harmful. It is season 3, episode 14, tentatively titled Warehouse Woes. We are picking up after just completing an arc where the party has more or less dealt with the second third of their major issue this season, which is to say they got past the Eoxian Zolan Gurguritz. They made a deal which has hopefully put him out of the picture, meaning that their last obstacle to completing this kind of 3 season arc is the kind of the big bad, which is Derlith Gerson. He's a Kasathan who's currently in control of the Pact Worlds, which he has redubbed the Gerson Sphere. I'm going to let my lovely cast introduce themselves, and Patrick can talk about whatever's going on with his eyeball. We will double check to make sure we have no announcements, and then we'll just jump right on into it. Note, I believe everyone feels a little bit like garbage and/or are recovering from being ill, so please bear with us. And also, Happy New Year. My name's Dustin. I also go by the Arbitrary Nerd, and I'll let Justin take it away from there.
I'm Justin. I play Seeker, the Android Technomancer, and it's with a heavy heart that I say that Biggles the Chowder has retired from his DJing and will no longer be performing on the turn. On the turn? On the whatever, turn. However you say that. So, yeah, it wasn't an easy decision, but it had to be made.
All right. Well, I'm Chris.
Chris, you're really quiet. Be loud.
Is your mic pointed up?
Well, I can't be any louder than this because I'm recovering from the flu. So, Justin, I'm already sad. I'm going to apologize because you're going to have to do a massive amount of editing. I'll try to mute myself anytime I can, but
we'll get a new voice actor for you.
I apologize. I apologize to the audio people for this one because I might not be able to edit out all those coughs. Who knows?
But I play Miller. He's a mechanic. Let's move on.
I'm Michael. I play Zero, the Android Operative, and well, I'm not sick, so sorry, the rest of you.
Oh,
all of us.
Chris is gonna hate you now because he hates Nick because Nick was flaunting his healthiness earlier.
Well, he was sick earlier today. I was sick last week. Dustin
I was also sick last week.
Oh, I was sick 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago?
You're literally the only person who has not been sick in the past week.
I've been sick for 3 weeks straight.
I
should
hope
see a doctor.
my illness is nothing more than the mild distress I was in earlier. Also, my name is Nick, and I play Dren, who is the Marikoi Solarian. Also, kind of, but not really. He's the unofficial captain of our crew.
My name is Pat.
Pretty sure
he is a captain in the crew.
Right.
He's not a captain of the crew.
It's actually a very important distinction. My name is Patrick. Check this out.
No.
Oh, don't.
Oh, God. He looks like he's going full
audio.
Sith.
You're so lucky right now.
I hate that.
Never go full Sith.
I hate it.
I'm now a villain. I have to be.
Oh God, guys, that's the plot twist.
And I'm playing Rex. He's a robot.
Yeah.
not to be confused with Rex,
the bloody
though.
eye.
He's not to be confused with Rex. Very important
No,
distinction.
Rex or not.
Rex and Rex.
The Rex or not.
So.
Oh, that's right. I'm actually playing Cybernaut Rex.
Yeah.
Right now.
All right. Do we have any announcements you guys want to give?
Yeah. So for the audio people, what just happened is, Patrick broke a blood vessel in his eye, and he's showing it off to the camera right now. So we all hate it.
I'm gonna be showing it off all day.
Nope, don't like it. Do not.
It is very uncomfortable.
I'm going to throw up right now.
Oh, is it uncomfortable,
He's like turning
Dustin?
into a demon from Supernatural.
Is it uncomfortable for you, the thing that's happened in my eye?
Yeah, I wish you would stop.
How'd you do that? By the way,
it's gotta suck. Oh, dude, I was so sick on Monday.
Yeah, how'd you do that, though?
He was pooping.
I was throwing up.
You
Have you ever thrown up a bagel? It's like shitting out your throat. Complete with the plops.
Family
Sorry,
friendly.
Molly.
Justin just poops bagels as soon as they touch his stomach, so it's
that's-
like the same speed, just right
wrong.
hole.
Pole and all.
Oh,
Yes, yes, I poop out the hole.
This isn't a symptom of us all being sick and tired at all.
Clip.
Yeah, all right. Any other announcements other than Justin pooped out the hole? I don't think I have. I feel like I totally should.
I know there is an announcement. If you would like to go listen to our test episode of our superhero podcast,
Thank you, Nick. Thank you.
can go listen to it on SoundCloud, which the link is. Hey, Dustin, what's the link?
bit.ly/never pod. I don't know.
I don't think we
Find us
have
where
one
any
for that.
podcast.
I don't link.
Are.
Yeah, find it wherever you find podcasts. You can do it at bit.ly/never podcast. I don't think I have one for our actual SoundCloud, but it goes to all your podcast apps. Do I have one for SoundCloud? Never Sound. I do.
No, don't say never sound.
That's not us. That's somebody else's. Don't do that one. I don't know who that is. What was wrong with our link in our SoundCloud? Nick?
Moving on.
Yep. If it just find it on SoundCloud, Never Split the Party. You'll podcast. You'll find it.
That's us. Yeah, it's
NSTP
called
Cast.
Heroes of Alter Earth test episode. Just a quick rundown. It is the episode we mentioned we did a little while ago, months ago now, where we were all in the same room, which is going
Back
to
in
be
the summer.
the format of the podcast when we transition to full audio for a bit. No dates on that, and also not sure if we're going with Heroes of Alter Earth or something a little bit more D&D fantasy style.
Leave
Not really
us
sure
your
that's gonna look like
feedback.
yet. Yeah,
Yes,
definitely give us your
please.
feedback. Hit us up on Twitter at NSTPcast or on Discord, bit.ly/never Discord. If you like it and want to hear more, let us know. If you're
Yeah,
a little
tell
bit
us
more
about how
excited
much you love like narrative systems and not number crunchy things. Just because we know that's your thing. So just tell us. We'd really love to hear that you want a system that isn't number crunchy.
Yeah.
I'm not biased.
I mean, everybody watches us for the role play anyway.
Everybody
Not the
watches us
math.
for our amazing skill at adding numbers together.
And knowing all of the rules to
Yeah.
everything we do.
Really, I thought it's
We're like
how
the
we
rules people.
how
We're
we're
like
still
the
friends
rules
after the way we talk to each other.
that
Abiding
too.
by rule room requirements. We're on the ball with that.
All right. Let's see. Was there any other announcements? I
It's
think
a
that's
new
good.
decade.
Yeah. Welcome to 2020. Like I said, tonight we're starting a bit of a new arc. We're gonna be doing some stuff that is kind of preparatory for the final showdown. We're not gonna go right into it, so we still have a number of episodes, roughly. I
We
would say
still have the zero thing to
Patrick,
do.
I'm gonna kill you.
yes, we're not. I didn't prepare for that this time. Remind
So
me
you're
when
saying I should force everybody into that today?
Yes. Do
you
it.
you won't like the result. I only remember the story bits that happened. I didn't have any of the actual stuff, I don't think, written down. Maybe. I'd have to look. But yeah, please don't. Let's do that next, Michael. Let's make the zero arc stuff what comes right after this one, okay? It's
Fine.
somewhat relevant to do it in that order, too. All right. Do you guys have any questions, things you want to cover before we jump right into it?
Nope.
Okay, 1 second while I die.
Oh God, he's
dies
dying.
off screen.
Somebody save that man. Call 911.
No, wait. Let's see what happens.
Oh, he's good.
Let it ride. All right.
Did he just burst a blood vessel in his eye?
What does that look like?
I'd have to be.
Oh yeah. This is
Okay, so I just have to say
Oh,
I thought it was
not
the reason
close.
why I brought that up because I thought
You
it
need
was
to
funny
move your
'cause Rye
left.
always puked all the time, and so
I missed the camera.
So
You
Rye
did.
puked all the time. Then you got Pat who burst a blood vessel from puking. Come on, that's good.
Well,
That's
that's
great.
because Pat was chucking grenades at folks last week.
Rye's just like, ow, my eye.
All right. Back to business. Last we left off, you guys had just finished negotiating with Zolan. You had worked out a deal where more or less, he will not participate in any upcoming battles as long as you send the signal. And his fleet is a non-issue, which is to say the bulk of the Border Space Union fleet. Probably not good for more than kind of a big finale surprise attack. So I would say make sure you guys keep that in mind to reserve it. But you do have that ability. The corpse fleet can kind of be stopped by you guys. Also, I looked up; it is totally the corpse fleet. I know I kept going back and forth on what it's actually called, but the corpse fleet. Um, I'm just going to have you guys pick back up where you have left on the turn, which is in the Diaspora, the ring of asteroids that is kind of in the middle of the solar system. And you are relocating back to the coordinates for the Resistance base, which is a collection of pirates and warships you've gotten from a couple of different sources, including you have the mothership and its crew of pirates. It was already a pretty big pirate conglomerate, and it's now been adopting more and more of the Diaspora pirate crews into its own. You notably, as you arrive back to the ship this time, see the Water Draco, which is a ship you saw way back when in, I want to say, season one, which you know is captained by the leader of the Ouroboros gang, Captain Sally, who I believe was half elfish or some humanoid, anyways. And then there are ships that you guys had kind of coordinate from Triaxis that were from the Vermilion Blur. Most of those were transport ships for their ground troops, but they have kind of joined in this soiree. I'm trying to think if I'm missing any big crews that you have pulled together so far. It's a fairly sizable force. It's the only resistance force that exists. They're not in real pockets anymore. You've slowly been collecting them. As soon as the Vermilion blurs back from whatever mission they're on, you'll have pretty much your full army. He did take off with a sizable chunk of the forces to help lead away the Triaxis forces while you guys are making your escape. This is after the assassination of Oda Shen. However, it appears that he has not returned. When you check in with the mothership, piloted or captained by Laris, the gnome, the completely hairless gnome, he confirms, yeah, still no check-in from the Vermilion Blur, but if you guys want to come aboard, we do have Captain Sally of the Water Draco available for you guys. This would be probably to Rex at the comm. Or Patrick at the computer.
Wait, what? I'm sorry.
It wouldn't be to our comms guy, Seeker?
Seeker, you on comms?
Yeah.
Isn't he normally? Wasn't he normally? Or
Not
he was on computers?
Exactly. The science station isn't exactly comms, but it can be. It's fine.
Yeah,
sure. Larissa is addressing Seeker. You guys get to come aboard and talk with Captain Sally?
Oh, were we supposed to meet her? I can't remember. It's been too long.
It was something that I was working on while you went to On the Turn.
Oh, wonderful then. I'll tell everybody else. Hey, everybody, we're going to talk with Sally. Oop, tell everybody.
Great.
So the last time you guys interacted with Captain Sally, you had made a semi-friendship in which she helped disable some of the weird communication systems in the, well, now Spirit of Shirket, then Indecision. And she kind of just helped with some inside knowledge because she's ex Blue Star / Border Space Union science teams.
And she disabled that transmitter or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was part of their weird communication array was the transmitter. So that's what's basically allowed you guys to fly on the radar all this time when you're in the Spirit of Shirket. So she knows her stuff. She's more tech-based than she is real pirate-based. You guys were able to kind of cow over her pirate gang pretty quickly through the help of Ray Shoren more so than anything. And
I did a thing. I was smart.
Yeah. That's where we get Papa Pete's Pizza Palace.
Papa Peter's Pizza Palace.
Yeah. That's all that whole thing. Do you guys want to do anything in prep work before you guys come aboard? Do you have anything you want to discuss as a group before you basically jump right into this conversation? It's the only reason why I'm not starting you mid-conversation.
Yeah, I didn't jump in because...
what's his name? Missed there. What was he doing on the ship the whole time? Because didn't he come with us?
I don't remember if you took him with you or not.
I thought we did because he would have tried to get on our ship anyways.
I thought we
Yeah.
left him there.
Yeah, I thought he
we left him
agreed
on
to
the
stay
boat.
behind this time.
Yeah.
We got some of his gear or something when we went to his
Is
lab.
he still here?
Yeah, he's yeah, if you guys check in, he is still in the kind of house arrest setup that he was in last time. He's accessible to you guys if you need to talk to him about something. Otherwise, he is kind of working on side projects in the background.
I'll leave him alone.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Yeah, it's like we took more than, a half month off.
Yeah, in your B team crew, you still have you have Notsob. Notsob spent a couple of days putting together Rex again, so Rex will be fully functional on his own being, no longer attached to Notsob. You've got Terry, who I believe you had left behind for this trip, but will be joining you guys again. You have Steviathan. I don't remember if he came in the ship with you again. Wasn't really plot relevant. He probably did. Or sorry, Stevathan, not Steviathan, Stevathan. And Ferences, I don't recall. Wasn't
I think we
again.
left
Wasn't.
him on the mothership, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys didn't take the Spirit of Sheerkat. You took a different transport, so they might have also stayed behind with your ship. Either way, you guys have all been reunited. I'll say that you guys connected with the Spirit of Sheerkat first. So if you need to drop stuff off, all that cool stuff, you're not like overloaded with all the stuff you just bought on the turn, and now you have time to meet up with Captain Sally, who will be in the kind of meeting area by the cockpit area of the ship. I forget the command room or whatever you call it.
The bridge?
Bridge, thank you. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah. There's a holographic meeting room behind the bridge, and that's where you guys are going to be meeting with Captain Sally. If you guys don't need anything else, I'll have you come on in.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Captain Sally is waiting. She is sitting with two kind of generic looking space thugs. And when I say generic looking, it looks like she has modeled their outfits to be as generic as possible. They've got bandana, eye patches, which aren't clear if they are functional or they're for decorative purposes. They're broad chested and their muscles strain against their flight suits. They've got patches and emblems that are skulls and other kind of pirate symbols, cross sabers or whatever, and they just look very much like they're acting out a role, which isn't too different from when Dustinian is in the room, though he is fortunately absent this time. It is just Captain Sally, who is, she has long straw blonde hair. She also wears it tied back with a red bandana, which is a new addition. She has thick glasses with lenses that are, as they say, Coke bottle thick. They're quite large, and they make her eyes, which are already a little bit larger than normal in almond shape, appear even bigger. And she's got, partially pointed ears, because I think she was half elven, and I'm going to go with that. She's either elven or half elven. I don't remember which. She looks more the part of a scientist than a pirate, but she has been doing her best. It's been, I think, she'd been doing it for a couple months when you guys met her last time, so this is now going on to her second or third year of piracy now. Yeah, and she sits at the table. She's got her arms crossed, and she says, "Well, well, well. We meet again. The crew of, I believe the ship's name has changed. Something
Nope,
about
it hasn't.
a carpet.
No, it's still the ship. Miller.
It's the
Miller
indecision.
Miller kind of busts into the room. He still actually has a huge bag of popcorn. It's half stale from like 2 days worth of travel. Just kind of drops it on the table. Hey, this is courtesy of Cisco Turn from On the Turn. Kind of
Don't eat that. It will make you sick.
Don't listen to the robot.
Nice
also, the ship's name is Spirit of Sheerkat, formerly known as the Indecision.
It's just a ship.
It's nice to see you again.
It's a pleasure.
Can I just say I love that Miller is like taking the George Costanza like way of doing this. Oh, just eat an apple, eat some popcorn.
I don't follow.
Oh, it was like, never mind then. I'm not gonna.
I didn't watch the show. Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Confidence. You feel more, you look more confident when you're just eating something, talking to somebody, doing business. I don't
Take
know.
your word for it. I've also not seen this episode you're referring to.
Yeah, I
Uh,
love Justin.
I
Don't know what
was.
he's talking about. You've never seen Seinfeld?
Poor Dustin.
Come on.
Can't get a word in.
Nope.
Why the fuck am I here?
All right, so Sal
Do it,
is
just do
like,
it.
well, now, everybody. Thank you for joining me again.
Sally's
No,
been
s-
trying to say, I'm
no.
sorry to hear about your dead captain. I wish you
It-
guys would stop out talking to me. Who's the monkey?
It's okay. I'm
Also,
here now.
why is it slimy?
I do that.
Oh, he's a slug monkey.
That's Dren, and not sure. Happened during some games or something.
Oh, right. I don't really watch television, so
Me
I
neither.
missed that whole bit.
I think it's
recommend you get that
recorded if
checked
you
out.
want to see.
That can't be sanitary.
It's not.
Probably not.
But it makes for great engine grease.
I'm used to it by now.
Me too.
He seems
And
to
it's
make the
Would
most
you,
of it, really.
I do too.
Like to get you used to it?
Not
You know
been
what?
introduced.
Roll me some. What is it? Is it diplomacy in Starfinder? I don't. Do they still have persuasion as a skill check? Where's my Starfinder
It's
character?
I
sheet?
mean, if slug stuff doesn't get him an automatic nat 1 no matter what, there's a
Oh,
problem.
Oh, you don't.
It's a
you
it's
don't
a
know.
vote.
You did take a permanent
She
charisma
did.
loss for that, didn't you?
They were.
There's something.
They brought it up, not me, so they could be into it.
They might be into it. It's a pretty open.
Okay. Let's see.
Who the hell is this?
That
skill
is
check?
a 23.
What is the actual skill you're using? Diplomacy. That's what it
Yep.
is. Okay. 23. She looks you up and down, and she says, maybe for purely scientific purposes later.
You
I've,
will be
done it for
disappointed.
less.
For now,
Scientific purposes, I'll take it.
for now, I actually had some news for you. Whether you choose to act on this news is up to you, but I wanted to contribute now that the Ouroboros organization has aligned with your little pirate crew you have growing out here in the diaspora. As you may remember, I used to work for Blue Star Corporation's R&D division. Yes,
Yes.
which was working hand in hand with the Border Space Union at the time. Since the Gerson Sphere's creation, that relationship has ended, but I have tried to keep up with some of my contacts out in the vast. Now, I guess I'm going to cut to the chase.
Yes, please.
I know you've acquired some very unique machines. My team had worked tangentially on some of the programming that went into those monstrosities, and I may know where you can get some equipment for your machines, which, if my understanding with
Dren
Loris,
broke his.
my understanding was that was also repaired. I believe I walked.
Oh,
I saw some of
yes.
that being done.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
It is good.
So
They're not that hard to repair.
So yeah, we don't need. Yeah, as it is, as long as you keep destroying the enemy mecha, we'll just be able to keep replacing
Yeah,
pieces.
they're quite modular.
Not that challenging, which is nice. But speaking of modular, the equipment, which can be modular, is still not readily or widely available. It's not something we can even get on the black market. The Border Space Union has been quite careful about that. However, with their separation from the Blue Star Corporation, that means that if you were to find something outside of the Border Space Union, it would very likely be at one of the Blue Star R&D warehouses they have peppered throughout the vast. I happen to know of one such that I was affiliated with while I worked there. Um, Miller's muting himself or dying?
Oh,
Both.
Cool.
And I know. I didn't know that about the BSU command there for Nightbot. That's really cool.
The what?
The BSU command. Look in chat.
Oh.
Anyways.
The Border Space Union is a large government that operates in the deep reaches of space.
You're not going to read
Not a
that whole
part
thing,
of
are you?
decentralized,
He's
packed
doing
worlds.
it, yeah.
Good for me. Look at me writing all that stuff in there.
Nice
Thanks,
job,
Steve.
Justin.
He totally knew about the command.
Well, I mean, I wrote it, but I don't remember it. That's fine. And there's his name, Derlith Gerson. I just could look there whenever I forget his damn name.
Thurston.
It's also not how I've been spelling it, but that's fine. Moving on. I assume you would be all interested in equipping your mechs.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
Definitely.
Right.
Pat just did the exclamation point dead command.
That's
right.
I couldn't remember if we did that or not.
We did.
We did. Shit.
Were the worst commands updated to Rex?
No, not yet. Most of them haven't changed. I only did that one basically because Patrick told me to.
Yeah, I forgot about it.
Now, I don't know exactly what you'll find there. However, there was a lab on Elitrio. Elitrio is, let me pull up my sheet of information.
Sounds like a Pokemon.
It is a planet that is home to Gibrani, who are an insectoid race.
Jabronis?
Jabronis. I said the same thing. Yeah.
All right.
Canon now.
Aren't you listening? Gibrani.
Yeah, Gibrani. 2 barren moons orbit the planet, one of which there's not a name on these ones. I'm gonna go ahead and call this the moon that we've called Gray Moon. There we go. Sure. God damn it, name your shit, Paizo. Endor. I'm not naming Endor. The Gray Moon houses a secret research facility, or depending on how active it is a research storage facility. It has been over a year since I was last there, so I can't say for certain what the current status is, but it definitely had some prototype material from the mecha as they were being created. Knowing the Blue Star Corporation, I guarantee you there will still be some of their prototype material and possibly more if they've continued development. I don't quite know where the split came with the Border Space Union and the Blue Star Corporation.
What was the name of that second moon?
The second moon?
Yeah.
Well, the moon that you're worried about is Gray Moon, and the other moon is called Steven.
And what's the name of the planet that they revolve around?
They revolve around Elitrio. Elytrio.
Oh, this should be fun. Last time we went to an R&D facility, we were fought by that thing. And he points at the gun, wherever the gun is. I think Miller has it.
Miller would have it, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it muted?
Yes. Should I unmute it?
It would have been interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, actually, that's a good idea.
Miller just kind of pulls it out, unmutes it, puts it on the table.
Actually, yes. Nate, do you know anything about this facility?
Why did you drop me so hard? I can kind of feel that. You know that, right?
I don't let Rex reach for it.
I would have been nice to you had you been with me.
Editing, Justin, that was not to cut. Now cut that. Now cut that.
But cut
now
this.
Cut that.
Right. I'm sorry. Could you repeat the question? I couldn't hear you after the ringing in my ears.
You don't have ears.
My audio receptors. And now I'm sticking up a finger I don't have.
Oh, I see it. It's right there. At the end of the gun.
Yeah, might as well be. What was the question?
Oh, do you know anything about this R&D facility on place where it is?
Gray Moon.
Gray Moon?
Gray Moon orbiting Eltrio around a sun that no one has bothered to name.
Ah, that one.
No, I know it exists, and I know it was with the more, how do you say, mechanically inclined projects. However, as you might recall, I preferred working with the fleshy stuff, and I had no reason to really work with the the Blue Star Corporation in those endeavors.
That says a lot of people. A lot of people like working with fleshy stuff that we run into. I wonder why.
It's a little bit, how do you say, cheaper.
Depends on who you go to.
Right. Well, you would have more of that trade intel than I would, I suppose. You filthy, filthy pirate.
I'm gonna start getting slime all over the gun.
I pick it up. I
It's
pick
getting.
it up. I give Dren a.
It actually works better now.
It's getting I can feel it seeping into its pores. What is this?
Rye would not be happy.
Hey, Miller's protected.
Yeah. I don't have any useful intel, but if you brought me along, you might be able to plug me into their system.
You're
You know,
in my pocket.
why don't you plug me into that one right there? It attempts to motion with no ability to motion because it is just a gun to Rex.
You shouldn't do that.
I feel like that's a bad idea.
Yeah.
Rex.
But
Rex,
I reach anyway.
Rex, do you want a Nate task?
Mute, holstered.
It's okay. I've been giving Nathaniel tasks.
Sally tents her fingers and says, "Very interesting, but I'm not sure you need the talking gun for this one. Though, if it does have the ability to interface and is familiar, maybe would be useful."
I mean, it's a pretty cool novelty. You gotta give me that.
Sure, yeah. Love weapons that talk back as you fire them. That's the best.
And ones that try to kill you at some point.
I was thinking, since you have done it before, maybe you could all go undercover and pose as a team of R&D testers. For the Blue Star Corporation, they pretty frequently hire third-party groups to test their new creations. And because this has such a high mortality rate, they often are always accepting new teams. So it is entirely possible that you could be your inclusion into their workday could even be an oversight. They might be expecting a group. They might not be mad that an extra bonus group showed up. If you can understand my my gist.
Well, we are pretty good at infiltrating. Last time we only lost one person.
And gained another.
We lost.
I mean, technically, we already had you.
But did you?
All right,
Pretty
Sally.
sure you worked better.
And Miller kind of reaches into his bag of stale popcorn and takes a big bite. So, what do you get out of all this? Why help us out now, huh? What do you expect in return? You know, tit for tat, so to say.
Well, on the surface, I have aligned with your resistance group, so any weaponry you acquire, in a bigger sense, we acquire. Having you better equipped to deal with the mecha means that my ship, the Water Draco, is protected. And also, those are patents I can steal for as soon as this conflict is over and sell as my own. I will be independently quite wealthy after this.
Cool. That's what I thought. All right.
As it is, I'm the only one here who even has any background in programming these machines, so I will also be able to help you interface the different things you acquire. I am looking forward to learning about these things, which is ultimately why I'm helping you. But again, a lot of it is out of the goodness of my heart / wanting to be on the winning side. I didn't join this crew for fun.
I gotcha. Yeah, no,
I don't do anything for
kind
fun.
of poking around in there. I could show you a thing or two of what I learned on the job.
Will you be helping me with the pokey at the same time that the slug monkey is?
No.
Whoa.
I'm not into you. You're not here enough.
Fine. Well, boring.
I think Stephenson should be, though.
Phyllis winks.
All right. Well, you do you. Now,
Actually have more people come with us to potentially steal more machines.
that's
have you ready for, say, the exit. Assuming we end up doing more than just a mild infiltration.
Depends on, I suppose, how you're going to do it. I would expect the team there won't be too large, but they would be well defended either by possibly some of their automatic security, which is to say their robots. You might even see some models similar to Rex, the RX series. Those are pretty big at guarding R&D bases. Or they might have other defenses in at this point. I'm not entirely sure. If you can get in and find the material, I imagine it wouldn't be too challenging to make a bit of a run with things. So the more the merrier might be a good idea, or you may even be able to find a way to neutralize the entire installation, and then the pickings are all yours. I really don't have any intel on what the situation looks like there now. If they've only got the kind of stock standard team of scientists, you might just be able to kind of ingratiate yourselves, do whatever menial tasks they have for you, and maybe even subdue them. Um, the Blue Star Corporation relied more on secrecy than anything in terms of keeping its products safe, especially when it came to research and development. Nothing you'll find there is probably mass production ready, but you'll probably encounter a lot of interesting prototypes.
Nice. I like prototypes.
I'm
Alright.
quite fond of prototypes as well. It seems we have that in common.
Yes, I do look forward to working with you.
You might be quite fond of me, Cybernaut Rex, king of the gobos and all sentient technology. I'm sick of doing that.
Rex, Cybernaut fixed you. Look at your chest cavity. You don't have them in you anymore.
Where is my heart?
Oh, aren't we all trying to find that answer?
Did you want to try to pull him up on the comm?
Yes.
Ooh, Sovereign?
Sure. As you video comm for Sobernaut, he appears in the bridge of the Spirit of Shirket, sitting in the captain's chair, spinning it around. He's not wearing any clothing.
Of course,
Hey,
yeah.
Cybernaut.
I take a cold metal hand and just tink 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 at the general area that he once
resided in.
Yeah, basically inviting him. Come on,
Cybernaut.
Come inside me? Did you just say come inside?
No. I said come on, Cybernaut.
Oh, okay.
Maybe not much better.
I think
it's not much better, but I mean, it's what I said.
I'm good, Rex. You do you.
All right, bye, Cybernaut.
Does Rex?
Hello.
Does Rex look visibly disappointed?
As visibly disappointed as a robot can.
You can't tell because my feelings are broken.
He keeps them internalized.
Yeah, Sally says, "Ooh, you have a ship goblin too. You had that the last time I saw you, actually. Is that correct? Same one?"
Yep. King of the Goblins. Yep, that's him.
I was king of the goblins once.
All right. Do you have any questions? I would recommend creating new persona for this adventure. You'll need to disguise at least a little bit because the Blue Star Corporation at least is familiar with your body of work, as it were.
I have a perfect idea. Sobernaut. Tink, 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 tink. Tink, 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 tink.
I feel like I might have broadcasted.
Yes.
Actually, would Rex be too recognizable, considering the only thing different is that he walks bipedal and has different hands?
Before I guess you commit to
break out the mask again.
The Rex Sovereign. Actually, the RX model you're traveling with might help get you in. It'll prove that you've worked with the Blue Star Corporation before, considering that's a Blue Star Corporation specialty model.
Huh. Wouldn't it actually?
So maybe stop putting a goblin inside it.
Maybe.
I brush Rex or not away.
Maybe put me inside of it because I feel like I just broadcasted my face to the entire galaxy.
Oh, you did, yeah. And remember that time you were a halfling?
Yeah.
Just use that hideous new face.
I like that pumpkin ghost guy. Where'd he go?
Where did Pumpkin Ghost go?
Well, You could potentially use a holographic disguise if you'd like. Again, I don't. This isn't. You won't be tangling with the Border Space Union, so the Blue Star Corporation isn't as out or apt to care. But you should, in some way, make sure that you all look different when you arrive. Also,
Yes.
I can throw together some lab coats and the like. I still have some left over from when my team was a part of their organization. So I at least have that covered. But yes, at least you, Miller, you'll need to do something about the whole.
Phyllis.
Yeah,
That's her name.
sure.
Yeah, Phyllis Winks.
Sally winks back, but not well, and it looks weird with the Coke bottle glasses.
Dren kind of makes like a "aw" like type face, but doesn't make an audible "aw" of disappointment. I guess
Gotcha.
I could get a wink.
She attempts
Seeker
to wink.
winks at Dren.
There we go. Fill in the blank. All right. Yeah. Alitrio's in the vast, so it'll take you a bit to get there. You can work on whatever persona you plan on bringing to the table. Do you have any questions for me?
Do you want any popcorn? It's actually still good.
Michael, you're pretty quiet. She's gonna pass on the popcorn.
Okay.
How's it now?
Still quiet.
Is it still? Can you hear it though?
Like very, very low.
I mean, I can hear you and
I can hear
understand
you,
you.
yeah.
You're about as low as Chris is, if that helps.
Oh.
Nope.
You were
Can't
saying
hear you.
Zero?
Nope.
Yeah, now you're
now
muted
he's,
entirely.
Yeah, now he's totally muted.
I can read lips.
I can't read lips.
Hold on, Pat. Zoom up on your eyes so I can see you
Oh,
reading lips.
don't do it. No.
God, it's so graphic.
Oh, you should have seen it the other day. Hold on, I've got a picture.
Nope.
Nope, don't like that.
How's my audio? Is it any better?
Yeah, yours is
Yes,
Much better.
That's
All right.
way,
That's
way
what I was saying when you
better.
were low, Chris. I wasn't saying like you're quiet because you're sick. You were really low.
Oh. I bumped
Oh,
up
here's my
volume.
favorite one because I'm holding the eye open.
Yeah.
God,
Look it.
Yep.
Look it.
that's yucky.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
You should
I
post
have
that in our Discord.
No clue
Oh,
why
you
I
should
keep
so
disconnecting
totally
my
do
sound.
that in a.
Mike, go into your audio settings in Zoom and see if you could boost the microphone there. That's where I did it.
Don't mind us while we troubleshoot.
That's max.
Riveting.
Oh,
That's
there we
much
go. That
better.
sounds great.
Hey, friend.
It's funny. I barely
Yay.
increased.
Was here the whole time. Wow.
So I was gonna ask if there was anybody we can contact upon arrival to kind of prove our legitimacy.
In my experience, as long as you go in there and you explain that you've been hired for part of the equipment testing program, they won't give you too much of a hard time. I don't, unfortunately, have any contacts that I would be really able to pull upon that are still active. There's been a lot of shakeup in the company. Let me see. Do I have anything that I would need you to?
Do they do any skill tests or anything like that upon arrival?
Not exactly. I don't think you quite understand how unscrupulous this activity is. They will literally hire homeless people off of the streets and run them through rigorous test environments, usually at the cost of limb and life. So they're not, again, looking for particularly difficult qualifications.
They're gonna rat on us if they know it's us.
Honestly, I don't know. It really depends on the team lead. Whoever or whomever is leading the team will kind of set the tone for that. If they are, how do you say?
I mean, at the moment, Miller's probably the best suited to it.
I more mean the team that's stationed at the R&D facility. If they're led by someone who was really ingratiated with the Border Space Union and is maybe not so fond of the split, then yeah, you'd probably be a great bargaining chip for them to kind of reintegrate with the Border Space Union, which was a pretty good paying gig for them. If they hated the stagnation that working with the Border Space Union led to for a lot of teams, then honestly, they might even let you go, not even think twice about it. It's hard to say. I don't know who's at the installation anymore. My contact isn't on site. My contact's on the planet proper and maintains relationships with the Gibrani.
Is there any project names that we should look out for?
That's not a terrible idea. If they're running anything with the Kronos project, that might be relevant. Let's see. What were some of those other mecha names they used for their development? I think they had a line called Walkers. Not sure if that exactly related back, but that might be interesting. Or if you wanted to kind of hit on a common one, they'll often have something revolved around, they call it dungeoneering. That's where they set up basically gauntlets where trial groups such as yourself try to make it through a series of trapped rooms or dangerous facilities that will later be sold off as self or home security or even lab or facility security processes. A lot of the different security processes you guys might run into on your adventures might have come through this rigorous testing process.
I love that, by the way. I love that. It's just like, hey, we're gonna research how to make a bunch of traps to keep things safe. Nice justification. I like it.
Just trying to think of how dungeons get built in the future.
Yeah.
I imagine a lot of the Pyramid Station defense mechanisms came from the Blue Star Corporation. So I would say your safest bet, probably code word dungeon or dungeoneering. Again, I don't know the specificity of what they're using now. I would say go with dungeon for now, and they can fill in the blanks. Again, you're signing up for a rather arduous task if that's what you do, but it could help.
Very cool.
Any other questions?
That's it for me.
Seeker writes down in a little notebook, can dress like a homeless person.
All right, let me get you situated with the lab coats that are kind of used as standard uniform. You don't need to wear them for particularly long, but it might help shake up your personas a bit. Please all make sure you go in with fake names. We can print off cheap ident cards. They're not anything more than identification, which you've probably already had 100 times, but they won't hold up under any real scrutiny. Just that's all I'm saying. They don't have any sort of real identifiers.
So I shouldn't have to worry about them running my serial number or anything like that?
Probably not. No, you would have been either proof of good service for the group or just proof that the group is quality. If anything, you might have open doors immediately that are a non-issue. I would don't speak unless spoken to directly, maybe, or don't pretend to fit in. Does that make sense?
Don't pretend to fit in.
Allow that your new team maybe initiated new programming. Don't try to engage with any of their station models. Does that make sense?
Leave them alone. I'm just one of these guys.
For all intents and purposes, yes.
Okay.
But again, you're a unique enough model that you may be the ident card that we don't have. Let me see. Is there anything else that you would really need? I would recommend to go in light in terms of your equipment. You are not expected to bring much of anything at all. I would bring things that you can easily conceal and leave any heavy artillery on the ship. I will have the Water Draco as well as your Spirit of Shirket on standby, and we will be the teams that pick up whatever you need when you have to leave, whether that's a quick exit or a longer stay, if that's what we get to.
I know you said that they take just about anybody, but is there anything specific that they look for in the people they choose for these things?
Them to start alive.
Oh, alive isn't required. They actually are quite fine with the Oxyans. Yeah.
Well, yeah, they
I'm-
come back, so
I'm-
The
I
Oxyans can
imagine.
take quite a lot of punishment, actually. If you could become undead before you get there, that would actually help a lot.
Well, they do
Um,
have. Hmm.
But it depends on what you want to showcase. If you want to be more, I basically would say find a niche and stick with it. Whether that's a more physical role and you want to go through their dungeon program, that's probably the safest bet. Excuse me. But if you wanted to pretend to have other qualifications, feel free to bring whatever you think will make you seem authentic. Again, you test extremely prototype materials, and these are going to be a lot of weapons because the Blue Star Corporation makes a lot of money through their weapons, through their defense program, whatever that looks like, and on the side through their mecha. Although again, after they're split with the Border Space Union, I don't really know what the mecha arm looks like right now. I'm just not sure if that's big and thriving or mostly in the background. You all do have experience with mecha, so if they had something, I would definitely keep an eye open for it.
That's a good point.
And it is totally viable that you would have experience. I would recommend you talk about having experience with their grunt units, which I totally have a name for, but do not remember what that is. Shit. Oh, come on. I have a whole bunch of stuff for that too. I have like all the mecha with names, and I don't know what I did with it.
Zukus.
No, it was a little bit better than that. Not much. It wasn't under bad guys. Was it Blue Star Corps? Oh no, that's B team. That's something I'm excited to use later.
Gross.
I don't think it's under any of that stuff. No, all right. I don't have it on me right now. Do you guys want to? I don't think I've said it on stream, and if I have, we can easily go against it. Do you guys want to canonically name their grunt units, like the Zaku or something from Gundam? Did you guys want to throw something out there quickly?
Grow.
Grunts.
ROW.
GR'NTS. Grunts. Did it.
What was Nick's suggestion?
Grow.
GROW.
Like drow, but with a G.
Like
Grow?
grow?
It's space.
Hey guys, I came up with a new graphic interface. It's called Jife. Animated pictures. It's called Jife. Never been done before. It's great. You gotta love it.
What was that?
It'll growl on you.
What was the old text-based game?
Zork?
Yeah,
Any of
Zork.
them?
Didn't Zork have a monster inside of it that you could encounter that sounded like a Gru? It is a Gru.
It's a
How do we
Gru,
call him
yeah.
Gru?
Isn't that the bad guy from the
It
Minions?
is also the bad guy from the Minions thing, yes. But this is spelled slightly different. We'll call them GRUs, but Grus. Yeah, we'll go with that. It's a riff off of Grow, I guess.
But it was grow, which is short for ground.
Yeah,
We
but
can't
they're
use them on the
space
ground.
units. Yeah, they literally can't be used in terrestrial atmosphere.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go
Plus,
with
that's what the walkers are.
So what does
could be.
GRU stand for?
It's son of a bitch. It stands.
This is important. We might need to know.
Giant robots everywhere. Whoa.
GRU?
Yeah,
could
that's...
GRU is what we're going
GRU,
for.
Oh, we're going with GRU. Okay. Giant robots underpants.
Giant robotic underwear.
Yeah.
I'm okay with giant robotic unit.
we call them GRMs. Giant robotic member.
I'm gonna go with GRU.
They're just gonna get called big dicks at the end of this. Is just gonna be.
You guys have seen them, right? They're a little phallic looking, I guess.
Lagan,
I still have oops. did I do the grunts anywhere that you guys can actually see them? I don't think I did. They're in our Dropbox somewhere. I'd like to get them so that Justin can showcase them, but I don't know if I updated that one. You know what? I'll have that up for next time. I know I have the mecha, like the party mecha that you guys have seen. No. Curses. I don't have any of this in the right spot. I wasn't really expecting to be blasting these this time. I know we've looked at them before. I'll take a look at it during the after party if I can, and I'll see if I can find it then. I have them here somewhere. But for now, yeah, you guys could also mention that you have experience with grooves.
Yes, we have.
All right. You do. You've just been blowing them up on the other side of the cockpit, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Did Miller actually get to pilot one?
Yes, I did. That was my re-debut.
Correct.
My radio was busted mid-fight, so you guys didn't know until after.
My mech was busted during the fight.
Yep.
You lost 3 limbs. Is that right?
No, I'm pretty sure he was completely downed.
Okay, nice. All right. Yeah. Do you guys have any other questions for Captain Sally?
Negatory.
Nope.
All right. Actually, if Rex, you'll let me mess with you for a bit, I can actually potentially keep a line of communication open, just in case you have any questions that I might be able to answer a little bit quicker on the fly.
Rex, hop up on the table. Let her do the thing.
What? Hop up on the let her do what thing?
I'm gonna add a direct line of communication so that I can treat it like an earpiece. Again,
yeah, I completely did drift off. I did. I let her do the thing.
Okay. She tinkers for a minute. She says, "What in all the stars have they done to you?"
Oh, it wasn't us. It wasn't us.
Well, it wasn't just me.
Yeah.
They have done so many things.
You avoided this warranty, just so you know.
We never had a warranty to begin with. Let's.
That's not
The
true.
warranty's a scam anyway.
That's also not.
Okay.
That's
right.
only half true.
Well, I have now. I will try and keep in earshot if I can. Just so you know, don't rely on it.
I ask, if you listen, do you hear the screaming coming from inside?
Oh.
I really just added an in and out communication relay, but if I check, she kind of like punches into your screen that I think you have in the back of your head. We've said before.
It's a small voice shouting, "Let me out! Get him out! Let me out!"
Yeah, there is a lot of binary trash that seems to be coming through. Again, it's not audible from where I'm standing, but
Control A, delete, easy peasy.
Oh. You just killed Rex.
Rex,
it looks
like
you
really need to let your emotions out. I could teach you a thing about art, and we can work through this together.
My programming has specifically told me to not trust you in matters of art.
That can't be right. No, that can't be right. Rye loved my art, okay? Rye would be nowhere without me.
Commencing Operation Console Seeker. There. I'm sure it's a mistake. There.
I like.
What's your programming say about eggs or egg art?
Keep them away from him.
Right. You've seriously screwed up this robot, but at least I've got a line in, and I will attempt to chime in. Rex, you'll be the only one who can hear me, but please.
Rex is gone. Now there is only Rex. I am Rex.
Okay.
Miller fixed it. Miller fixed everything.
Okay.
Thank you, Miller. Slow, creepy turn.
With weird eye.
With weird bloodshot eye.
Clearly visible.
The bloodshot eye is now canon on the C-3PO like face. One of the eyes is glowing red.
So Control A, delete gave him bloodshot eyes.
Great. Nothing is wrong.
All right. If you guys have anything else from me, I'm going to return to the water Draco and kind of get off of this lovely pirate vessel that we're on.
It is lovely, isn't it?
How are they going to have us get there?
Your other
Was
pirates.
there a
The
recruiting
hero.
place or something like that?
Oh, no, I would have you just arrive. And then again, another thing where you taking stolen Blue Star tech, your ship should be pretty good. We
The
can
one that
scramble.
clearly identifies us as us?
Well, we can scramble the transponder enough for the purposes of one facility. It wouldn't work if we were going for a real dock, but we're going to avoid the planet itself.
So
We're
what you're
going to
saying
be.
is I get to sleep in my own cot tonight?
My
I mean, for the
scanner
next
says
week,
that
yes.
we'll be fine
Oh,
to land.
nice.
Yeah, you should be fine to land as long as no one gets on board your ship. Their scanning system should be rudimentary, and that's a pretty easy thing to fool. Again, wouldn't hold up under any real scrutiny. So if you, for any reason, have to go to the planet proper, Elytrio proper, you will be immediately found out.
All
But
right.
as long as you stay on Gray
Don't
Moon,
go to the planet.
yeah, don't go to the
Gotcha.
planet. Hang out on Gray Moon. This will be another thing that opens doors for you.
All right.
Your ship was an R&D project itself, so again, this helps. It shows that you are integrated.
I believe we're ready.
Close. I need to see somebody about getting a hologram from my friend Phyllis here. She makes me distinguished. She is who I am.
I place a giant hat on Phyllis.
Oh, you should place
Good
a
as new.
mask on Phyllis.
Sally says, "I'm out. I can't really help with that, but I'll let you connect with your friend, the hairless gnome." She leaves the room with her two pirate-looking fellows. Larissa enters and says, "So we have a new mission."
We have a new mission.
All right. What do you need from me?
I need to hide Phyllis here.
Have you tried just
Preferably.
pushing her back in? Okay, stop. That's gross. Do you want a hat? Do you want?
Well, I'd like some sort of like a hologram if possible.
Oh, yeah, I could probably arrange something. We got a couple different holo projectors, but also, have you considered just wearing a helmet?
She's fairly large. No offense, Phyllis.
Well, you could just get a helmet that's large enough to accommodate both and hang out in that. You wouldn't be the first species that has to, for atmospheric purposes, exist in a suit.
Wear a huge helmet. All right. I could kind of look like Marvin from the most recent adaptation of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I like it.
Okay. I'll
Big Ken
give
mode
you we've got like a couple of different holo projectors. I'll give you a portable one that you can also attach somewhere to your suit in case the helmet comes off for some reason.
Sounds
I
good.
would say I would play up the incompatible atmosphere.
Yes, I like that.
You might want to do some research on a species that has that feature or make one up.
I can
but-
just
Or you
make one
have-
up. There's tons of them out there, right?
You could simply say you have a disease that requires you to
There you go, Zero. Boom.
something along that nature.
Aren't you guys trying to join an R&D team?
Yeah,
I'd go with the atmosphere being incompatible.
fair enough.
Don't think they want you to get their entire secret facility the flu.
No, more he has a bad immune system, not he has a
Oh.
disease that he can transmit.
Oh, like a
No,
bubble
I
wrap. Yeah, that'd be
hate
okay
to
too.
ask this, but do you have anything that can temporarily,
You wouldn't want that to be permanently gone.
No, I kind of like it.
I kind of do too. Do you know how we keep that ship, spick and span?
Let's be honest, you've probably gotten enough of that grease to last lifetimes.
Yeah, well, I'm selling it too.
I don't. I mean, like we can give you like talcum powder, I guess. You could just keep constantly powdering yourself. I don't.
Can we just pour some salt on him and see what happens?
Yeah, I mean that might be a better, faster solution. Yeah.
Not actually a slug.
Wait. Wasn't there something about being salted? Yeah, where it actually like hurts the shit out of you or something like that?
He hasn't tried it yet. but it's a thing.
We could try salt if you want. Do you want to try salt, Dren?
I think you might be better off just trying to go deeper into it. Can you make yourself slimier, or maybe remove?
Oh, I just won't shower. That's fine.
I got buckets of the spoop out on the ship, so yeah, we can just cover him.
Yeah, again, I don't think out of like the crew of the Spirit of Shirket, I don't think Dren, you're the biggest face of the group, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean,
No, but
they
he
might
is a
know me
famous-
outside of the crew.
What was that, Zero?
I was gonna say he's probably more famous in a bad way.
Oh, I don't think. Again, from what Sally was giving me a rundown previously, if where you're going,
Like he might have sold Blue Star employees or pirated from Blue
It's
Star.
possible.
might even be more useful to you guys again if he's been selling recruits to the Blue Star Corporation. Although that would have done by a third party probably. I don't think Dren, you need to worry about it too much. Lean into it, Dren. Like maybe dress up a little nicer. Like lean into whatever persona you're going with. But yeah, drop the pirate act for now. Otherwise, I think you're fine. And the androids just gotta gussy themselves up somehow. I think you guys did fine with the on the turn adventure. Maybe just go back to those personas if some of those weren't revealed.
Oh no, they were.
Oh,
immediately.
Okay. Well, all right. Maybe don't do that. All right. Other than the hollow projector and trying to shove you in a helmet, is there anything else I can get for you guys?
No, I think we're good.
All right. This is gonna be a bit of a longer trip because it's out in the vast, but bon voyage.
Did we want new clothing? Like just basically, like not even armor or anything like that.
You're getting access to the scientist gear, like the lab coats from Sally. So some of that's already covered.
I think the idea is that before we launch, we get into costumes and whatnot. I think that's accepted.
Well, we have weeks probably, or at the very least days of travel to do that.
I'm looking for how long it takes. It's 5d6 days.
Woo!
Yikes.
You.
Roll us some ones.
Just so you guys know, it's going to take you 12 days.
That's not that bad.
It was 2 2s, 2 1s, and a 6.
So definitely a weird roll.
That is a weird roll.
However, yeah, it's going to take you guys 12 days to get there aboard the Spirit of Shirket. Excuse me.
I feel like we should rename it to the Spirit of Rycat. They were a couple.
They were not.
They were married. They
had a child. They were married.
They had a kid.
They did not.
Yes, we still have the kid.
We do not.
Yes.
What does Forenses do?
Forenses, as you guys are having this argument as you reboard the Spirit of Shirket, says, "Wait, you're not adopting me anymore?"
I'm out. I'm out of here.
Hey, there's a thing over.
I'm pretty sure Rex was programmed to take care of you by your dad.
Didn't Miller just delete that?
No.
No, Miller deleted
the other
or
one.
at least temporarily shut down the original Rex.
Yeah, original.
What was it? He killed the Rex process.
Yeah,
but not all the trees.
But not. Yeah, he's not. Yeah. I think I'm gonna ask that he not actually be dead.
I would say he's got reboot somewhere in there, but I'm comfortable with it. He just cut down that particular command line. I'm okay with that.
If we ever reboot you, he's back.
Yeah, he opened Task Manager and shut down that one program. That's all. That's fine. All right. I don't think you guys need it, but we have 12 days of montage. Is there anything anyone wants to complete in 12 days of being aboard the Spirit of Shirket with access to all your good stuff?
No.
Everybody comes up with a name.
So I only have large weapons. Wondering if I can.
You have Nate.
I do have Nate. What is Nate, by the way?
He's that stun gun thing.
The arc pistol.
Oh, it's just an arc pistol?
No, he's not an arc pistol. I
Maybe.
erased it from my thing when you stole it, but
Oh, you upgraded them, didn't you?
yeah, it's an analog gun.
Oh, that's right.
I forgot about that.
Semi-auto elite, I think.
Semi-auto elite.
Yeah, and it's a leveled up one at that.
So it should be
Let me see
3d6
if I
plus
can
whatever
find
the
it. Hold
bonus
on.
thing is.
Let me
Because
see if
that's what I'm using is the semi-elite.
Well, you don't need it right now. I'll find it for you, Chris.
Excuse me.
All right.
Don't need to take up time here doing that.
Yeah, that's about it because I don't think I can carry. I mean, I could probably carry my carbine with me, but definitely not my Blue Star Conqueror. That's actually the name of it.
Keep it on the ship. You guys.
So actually, what I do,
Elite semi-auto pistol level 2.
So for Miller, I actually I pull off my backpack and I'm pretty sure you can pull out the fusions.
Mm-hmm.
And I give you my glamour fusion, so you can actually change the weapon into something else.
Oh, cool.
And I'll leave my sniper rifle behind.
Yeah, double check what the glamour actually has limitations of. But I know they used it as like where it could become like a sash or something that would then be an actual weapon. Just take a look and see what it is. I don't really care what it
It
looks
would probably
like.
be the same thing. What I did, just have it be a backpack.
Yeah, I think that's probably fine, especially as it's a bigger item. Just have it glamored as a backpack makes sense.
All right, cool.
But try and keep your inventory light. Basically, what's going to happen here is this is what you bring is what you have, and anything you find, you'll be able to utilize potentially. I don't know what nature this is going to happen. I just didn't want you guys to be rolling in full mercenary outfit into an R&D wing. So you'll have some limited access to things. If it comes up, just know that if there's a question of do I have it, the answer is no. Deal?
Sure.
Cool.
Dealio.
All right. Where is Justin at?
Justin hasn't been here for a while. I think he's probably pooping.
Did he really? I saw that he got up and left, but
yeah, he's been up for a while.
He's been gone for a little while now.
Justin.
Right. It might also be good for Miller at least to go in as a scientist opposed to a tester.
Yeah.
Meaning like what?
Like he is a scientist to be hired as opposed to a tester. You might end up with more access to computers and a list of like the projects going on, things like that.
So the 4 of you will be guinea pigs, where he'll be kind of like the oversight.
Yes.
Okay, I'm okay with it.
Especially
Chris,
if we're going in with lab coats.
Mm-hmm.
What's your persona?
My persona?
You can literally run through like a name generator if you really wanted to.
Yeah, let's do that.
Same thing for Michael.
I'll come up with something real quick.
Let's see.
Patrick, Nick, I'm coming at you as guys as well. Actually, Patrick.
Yeah, you don't need one for me.
You are going to go under Sally gives you an arbitrary designation of RX096.
Drentail.
RX087. Got it.
All right, that's the first one I got. I'm just going to go in as Luca and then some random number of your choice. How about that?
Luca 6969. Okay, got it.
420.
Never. I wouldn't allow that one actually.
All right. It'll be Luca 113. Nick?
Drentail blade.
You're not... Okay.
They said I'd be okay.
They didn't say you'd be okay as pirate. They say you'd be okay as your face.
All right. I'll do something else.
Okay.
My name is...
your name is associated with the group now.
Let's just go with Ned for him.
There's an R. Nerd.
Yeah, but you're clearly not, so you don't get that letter.
Yeah, Ned with the silent R. Okay, fine. Chris?
My name is Muntz Catharat. Munts Katherat.
All right. And is Seeker going to reprise his role as Biggles the Chowder?
He did say he retired him
From
Meant from performance.
from performance. Yeah, so I think Biggles is coming back.
I'm going to allow that. He doesn't get a choice. It's Biggles.
He's big. He's Biggles. He's Biggles de Swiss.
Isn't chowder like a soup? Is there another kind of soup?
Stew.
Biggles de bisque.
Biggles de stew.
Oh, here's Biggles now.
I like
Biggles.
Biggles de bisque.
Biggles de bisque.
I like that. Biggles de bisque. He's
Biggles
back.
de bisque.
What? Let's go.
You're Biggles de bisque. You were gone for like ever, and yeah, your undercover persona is Biggles de bisque.
Yeah, but I already
Biggles
did
de
a
bisque.
I already did
Yeah,
Biggles. Can't
no,
my name,
no,
like,
you
be
did a
like,
Biggles de Chowder. This is Biggles.
You
de
were
bisque.
sleeping when we made up the IDs. That's what you're handed.
Oh, okay. All right.
Dustin.
What's a bisque?
It's a soup.
Yes, Nick.
Oh.
So it's going to be Ned, silent R, of course. Last name Boromir.
Okay.
Boromir.
Okay.
Both Sheen Bean characters.
Yeah.
I love it.
Question,
die?
Dustin.
Is that what you're saying? You're gonna die?
Maybe.
Do you every game session regret this?
Just this?
Yeah, the whole of it.
The whole thing.
All of it.
This session more so than others.
I've not been that bad.
No, you have not been, other than the drifting off entirely and then having to bring you back every time I've talked to you so far.
Yep.
What?
So we have Chris going in as scientist Muntz Catharat. We have we'll do this. We'll have Miller going in as scientist Munt Catharat. Muntz has a rare genetic disorder that means that his immune system is shot, so he wears his environmental suit at all times. We have Luca 113, a android that causes some local malfunctions for any record devices. We have Ned silent R Boromir with 3 R's, and that is going to be Dren's persona.
Is that a Biggles the Chowder reference? He had two R's as well. One of them was silent.
Got you. No, unintentional. Rex will be our designated RX-096 this time around. Rex's original identifier is, I think, 004. And we've got Seeker going as Biggles de Bisque.
Is that a Biggles the Chowder reference?
Yes. Yes, Justin. Did you plan this?
No, I didn't. Did you?
No. Kind of.
I was gonna say something like Sparkles McLobster or something anyway, so.
They wanted Biggles. They need more Biggles.
They need more Biggles.
Biggles bites.
So, Justin, I asked the group. Everyone said no, basically. It's going to take you guys 12 days. You are currently traveling through the drift space to get there. Do you need to do anything, or is there anything you want to accomplish in 12 days of downtime?
Well, I would like to work with Rex on bringing out the inner person inside him, a little bit more. That'd be kind of fun, I think.
You're going to want to yell Patrick really loud and then say that again.
I mean, we don't have to do it right now. We could do it later, but at some point I would like to work with Rex on his artistic expression.
All right.
Unless he really doesn't want to, because that coding told him really no.
It's more that Rex is incapable of being anything except for happy right now, because it's a programming error.
Well, we'll work on it. We'll workshop it.
All right.
Okay. We'll do it later.
And I also told the group that other than like a single weapon, probably a small arm or something relatively innocuous, your equipment will be left behind on the ship.
I am a weapon.
You could probably bring a couple of extra batteries, because I know those are relevant to you especially, but otherwise you're going into this.
Yeah, bring some batteries.
What you pick up is what you're going to be able to utilize.
So I generally have, what is it, just 2 handguns and a knife.
For the most part, as long as you don't look like you're going in there like a mercenary, it probably won't be an issue.
Let's be honest, Zero has them hidden.
Okay. You have
thought
at
you were
least
gonna say
one
like a
hidden
murderer.
compartment in your arm, don't you?
You.
Between my,
Oh, maybe it
or what is
doesn't
it? I have a quick release sheath, and I have, what is it? A bunch of the mod slots. So I think they're mostly with massive movement buffs. I think I have a haste circuit, the leg suspension things, and then the cardiac accelerator.
Using Zero's glamored whatchamacallit, weapon fusion, I transformed my ice carbine into a backpack.
Cool.
Instead of a backpack, maybe you should have it look like a like oxygen tank or something like that.
Ooh, even better. Done.
Nailed it. Like it. Good call.
Yep.
I'm going to be rolling up, like Saiyan style, with the tail acting as like a belt, with the little bangle type thing I got on the end of it, housing my Solarian crystal as like a belt buckle.
Well, I do have a null space chamber if anybody has anything bigger they want to put in it.
I don't know what that is.
That's the bag of holding.
Oh.
So Miller, if you had like a big rocket launcher or something you wanted to bring,
I
I'm
do
sure
have a big rocket launcher that
probably
I want to
bring that along.
Do you want to put my Blue Star Conqueror in there?
Obviously.
What
I
happens
thought you'd
if
never ask.
What happens if you turn it inside out?
I'd like you guys to act this out, putting the large
I
weapon
just
into
did.
a small pouch.
We are.
Yeah. No, just jam it in. Just jam it in right there. Just
Hold
okay.
still.
Spit on it.
Right, go in it. Try it at a different angle. Just,
All right, I'll try barrel first.
Okay, let's try it from behind. Try
From
it from behind.
All right, flip it over. Oh, I just fired up into the ceiling.
Not again. Come on. I'm
You've
gonna give you a warning for this type of thing.
Miller, you've made a mess of the room again.
What are the explosions I'm hearing over here?
Why are you using dish soap? Just use some Dren.
Ooh, good point. Dren, get over here.
Yeah. Okay. All
I
right.
felt bad even when I said it.
Here, let me lube it up.
Dren gives the weapon a new room massage, and we move on.
All right.
All right. The
You
12
want me to
days
get rid of it?
pass relatively uneventfully. If you guys need a retcon, sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say I spend most of that time convincing Cybernaut to rejoin as Cybernaut Rex because it's the only time I have felt human.
He's
Was when he
considering
felt
it
goblin.
Or it's the only
after-
time I have felt alive.
He's considering it after you do the thing where you need to be as close to a normal model as possible.
Just one more for the road.
He rides on your shoulders temporarily. For the 12 days, he spends riding you like a mount.
And
I am happy.
He's naked.
He is naked, so there is some interfacing. Yeah.
I smell nothing.
Hey, me either.
Um,
Oh, what are our stories, guys? What are we going in as?
A robot.
My name is Muntz Catharat. I have a rare genetic autoimmune disorder that forces me to be in my environmental suit. It's called Nixford-Palindinian syndrome.
Didn't we already go?
What?
All right.
Yeah, you already did. I'm just asking what our actual stories are. I don't know what everybody's
yeah,
stories
in
are.
character, you guys will be asked probably. That's fair.
Yeah.
Going under the designation Luca 113, and I'll be going in as a pilot and mainly just as a pilot.
I'm going to be going in as a junkie,
Ah,
and I really need the paycheck.
That'll be a big
I
jump
have
for you.
drugs.
Yeah?
Oh
I
no.
do. You want some?
What do you got?
I mean, I've got that perfected foresight.
Yeah, I'll take it. It'll be more convincing.
Here you go. I give it to him.
Are you taking it now?
Not now.
Okay.
I
All right.
was thinking of going as well. Apparently I'm Biggles the Bisque, but I was thinking more being sort of like a I'm Biggles the Bisque. I was in the war.
Oh, that's
Which
terrible.
one? I don't know. You tell me.
A malfunctioning robot that doesn't know how old it is, or android rather.
I like it.
Ooh, I like that.
I'm okay with it. Androids can live long enough. There's been a couple of wars in the past century. If you need it, sure, this was fine. I'm okay with this. All right. Sure. You guys arrive. There isn't really too much fuss. The 12 days of travel passes. Um, I don't have any
Did we
information.
paint the outside of the ship or anything like that?
Um,
Considering it does say Spirit of Shirket on the side.
yeah, you guys had time. They could have
Yeah.
easily have done a quick paint job. Got you back to
They
standard
just say
colors.
that it's
Figure
an
does it.
awful recreation. Doesn't look a thing like it.
It just said it has Spirit of Sheer Ket crossed out, and then just says ship.
Seeker took care of it, and he wrote incision.
Yeah.
Incision.
All right. That's fine. That actually fits probably a little better for the scientist team. All right. Elite Trio is the fourth planet orbiting an unnamed sun. Though it used to have a thriving ecosystem with biomes ranging from rainforest to Arctic tundra, as well as functioning nation states producing advanced technology, the planet was devastated when its residents initiated a global thermonuclear war just after the end of the gap. So basically, their first recorded memory was, hey, fuck that guy, nuke it, and they blew the shit out of their planet. It is homeworld of the Gibranis,
Bronies.
The jabronis.
which are beetle-like humanoids who achieved much in the field of robotics and fully automated many of their major cities. His name is irrelevant. Most of their
they're
race,
probably no longer alive since they were bug people.
well, most of their race was destroyed in the what they call the conflagration, and only a small population survived in a city named Archeost, which is protected by a dome of force. This domed city is the only living city on the planet's surface, and effectively the only place you're not allowed to go with your ship. Again, because you just did like a quick copy pasta over the transponder, you didn't actually do any real work. Let's see. I'm okay with that. Your two barren moons, which are the companions, circle Elytrio in opposing orbits. They never attained full space flight, but they did have automated research facilities on both moons. And only a couple of their stations are still functional. They've basically given over their old location, one of them, to the Blue Star Corporation, who bought it out, and that's now why they exist on this moon, which again I'm calling Gray Moon because they don't name anything here in this entry. But otherwise, Litrio is an actual Paizo planet. All right. And if you want to see what the little bug guys look like, they're quite adorbs as far as bugs go. I'll have pasted into the chat, which won't be useful for anyone else, but it's just Starfinder Wiki.
They're adorable.
/SF
Like little ladybugs.
/GHIBRANI.
Ladybug right up there.
Yeah.
Chat.
And scroll over to
There you
the
go.
picture. And then everyone can see the buggies. Yeah, there they are. I'm probably shouldn't be looking at the Twitch video because I know it's a little bit delayed. All right, let's get out of this stuff. All right. So after 12 days, you land the ship. You had coordinates from Captain Sally. You landed on the outside. So the moon is barren and it has no atmosphere, so you will need spacesuits to travel. This space station itself doesn't have room for a ship the size of the Spirit of Shirket. It looks like it only takes shuttles. So you have to land alongside their research station. Station itself is quite large. It just doesn't have a. Excuse me, I throw it in my mouth. Oh God, it tastes so bad. It doesn't have a hangar to support your ship, so that's why you'll be parking next door to it. Which again is another reason why Sally wasn't overly worried about the nature of your ship. It's not going to be part of the discussion. You leave aboard the Spirit of Shirket, currently disguised as the Incision. Stevenson, your dwarf ward Terry, and your human ward Forenses. Also, Sobernaut will stay behind, as much as this pains Rex. The rest of you gear up in environmental suit, which is basically mostly you activate your helmets for your armor. It looks like all armor can seal up.
And that's, of course, your Seeker Zero.
Which you just stroll out into the aether and no one gives a damn. And
and Rex, actually.
and Rex. It's just Monkey Boy and Miller. So the monkey and the rat. You guys stroll up. There is kind of like a loading bay, like where you cycle in. A door opens at your approach, and it has another door immediately. You all step into this little pressure chamber. It shuts behind you. Oxygen begins to fill, so those of you that need to take off your helmet are able to. And a little digital screen appears in front of the door, and in front of it is you know what? We'll go with the one of the Gibrani, one of those little ladybug looking people, is kind of hovering behind on the view screen, and it clicks some mandibles and it clicks its fingers together, and it says, uh, "Hello, this is researcher Don Van Ren. D- do we were we expecting you?"
Yes, hi. I'm Dr. Muntz Catherad. I'm here for the lab position.
I'm sorry. Lab position. Which position is that exactly?
I'm sorry, in the research facility there.
Yeah, you are currently in the vestibule of the research and development facility. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I was unaware that we had an open position.
Oh, well, yeah, no, I was sent here. They didn't really give me much in terms of information. They just told me to show up and that you'd take care of me.
We're
Are
here to
the
test stuff.
These guys here, I guess, are here to test stuff.
Oh, all right. Were you brought along as part of a team with these testers?
Yes.
Ah, I see. I see. All right.
You want to shoot stuff at me? You can do that. I had people shooting stuff at me all my life. I don't even know why.
I've had some shots too.
Yes.
I kind of picked up some of them. I heard you guys are a little bit desperate for subjects.
No, yes, yes. We'll definitely take on a team of testers. I didn't know we had any coming, but I'll be honest, communication is uh, a little
Say no
limited
more.
out here.
Say
Yeah,
no
yeah,
more.
yeah, yeah. Sure. I'm gonna scan you all for contaminants, and then I'll wave you on in. Just please know the facility has a weapons ban. You are able to take small arms, but you'll find that their batteries are nullified in the facility. Um, Blades, if necessary, are okay, but please keep them no longer than a human forearm. We're not looking to have any conflagrations, if you would.
I keep this plastic shiv on me at all times just in case.
Biggles,
That
put that away.
that might come in handy, I suppose. It depends on what we have available for testing. Yeah,
Far better than Bagels to Chowder.
let me have you guys go. Ooh, you have your own RX model.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So you guys are old hats at this. I'm so sorry. Come on in. Let me do that scan real quick, and then I'll open the door for you. Hold on.
This one wasn't always a slug monkey.
Okay.
He tested a lot of stuff. That's how he got that way.
Oh,
We are
that's
prepared
exciting.
for testing.
Thank you. He shuts the screen off. A pink light fills the chamber, scans you all up and down. It does flicker a little bit. It says it kind of hits the zenith of Dren, but eventually it just keeps going. And then you hear the sound of airlock doors depressurizing, or a can of Coke or a bottle of Coke. If you have one handy, just want to open it next to your ear. You'll get the sound.
I don't know.
Excuse me. And you are given entrance to the facility. You're met by the kind of floating bug guy, the flying bug guy, as he kind of hovers around. He's got the Blue Star logo emblazoned on his carapace, or a jacket he's wearing, I guess, on his carapace. Um, and it kind of waves you in with one of its set of arms. The facility itself is reminiscent of Nate's facility on Verces, which is to say, this facility isn't built into a mountainside, so scrub out any like gaps. This is just a pristine, white walled facility with lights every so many feet, regular. There are doors left and right, and this looks like to be a major hallway that kind of goes a decent length. I'd say several hundred feet with different offshoots and doors left and right. The facility seems to be kind of structured around this main hallway. The Gibrani, who introduced itself as Don Van, says, "All right, I'm going to get you all situated. Here, right this way. These first set of doors here will get us to the guest suite, where you all can kind of take a seat, and I will have the rest of the team come in and introduce themselves to you, if that's all right."
Ooh, I'd love to meet everybody. I
Right.
like meeting people.
Right. And you're the one we can shoot at, you said?
Ooh,
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, what?
People shoot at me every night with their brain waves. They come at me and I can't see it. I'm telling you, there's aliens out there somewhere shooting things into my brain every night.
I picked some winners, huh?
Well, we can certainly shoot at that one.
What is he on?
No, no harm there. All right, I'll be back momentarily. Please make yourselves at home. The room you're in is it's a relatively large room. It's effectively a barracks, though. It's a bunch of bunk beds, cots, basically. You get a little like a chest at the end of your cot, either on the top or the bottom, based on if you're on the top or the bottom, and that's it. It's just a room with like a table in the middle of it, and then cots all around it. It can fit up to 15 people comfortably.
So Dren, are you doing any drugs?
Yeah.
Are you good doing them?
I have 5, by the way. 5 doses. I gave him 1.
Somebody's staring me down? Because I'll do it if they're staring me down.
Are you daring me to do this right now?
What? How long does it last?
I'm trying to see how long most drugs last, and I'm going with that. Jesus Christ. It looks like the effects usually are short. Like within an hour seems to be, or 1d4 hours. This drug use is actually relatively short. Its primary effects, which you guys haven't experienced, are short, and then it has like the lingering effects, which probably last for about an hour.
If once they go to scan me, it's happening because they're not taking it away.
They've already scanned
They've already scanned you.
Oh, then once we start, I'm
Ben
using
just
it.
eats it. It's like, no.
You can wait until you're in an actual test.
Yeah.
We're not going to get into those tonight, so I'm going to be developing basically a bunch of bullshit tests for you guys to deal with next week.
Nice.
And that should be actually a pretty fun session. So yeah, you can definitely experiment with drugs then. The Don Van returns, and he is joined by 1, 2, 3, 4 others. There is a Suli woman. She's big, probably maybe 7 feet tall. She's got gray colored skin, which looks like muscles upon muscles. She's got side shaved hair that is like a red kind of faux hawk with a ponytail going down her back. And she introduces herself as Dorian Tower. There is a Noir, which is say the Minotaur looking dudes, who introduces themselves as Vance Barrick. Excuse me. There is a Kalo, which is it looks kind of like the creature from the Black Lagoon, kind of like a swamp looking thing with like almost like a manta ray kind of like fin, and it's wearing a helmet that has a water supply, so it keeps itself hydrated. It is introduced as Cartera Mika, and then there is a Sylph, which is a diminutive, I'd say 5 feet or 5 footish humanoid with kind of pale gray skin, pale gray hair, very small body. All of them are wearing race appropriate lab coats with their names and the Border Space Union. Nope, sorry, the Blue Star Corporation logo, which we have running around a couple places in our like on our Patreon and different places like that. I'm trying to remember the closest one I have available, but I don't remember where it is.
So,
Under your name.
What?
Next to your name.
Next to my name? Oh, is that the star? Nice, right?
Yeah.
It's the segmented star. I should probably open up the whole thing. Yeah.
so I have. You said there's a total of 5 folks are.
Yeah, the sylph's
have
name is
I have
Westona Burn.
Domvan, I have Vance Barrack, I have Cartera Mika.
The sylph is Westona Burn, and you missed the Suli, which is Dorian Tower. These are all Starfinder races I just picked from a list.
Cool.
And they said, all right, there is our team lead. This is Don Van speaking. And there is a team lead who was not willing to leave a current project. If you follow me back into the command room, I will introduce you to him if that's acceptable.
That's acceptable to me.
All right, fantastic. You can bring your testers, although please tell them to keep their mind there. Be quiet.
Yes.
Cool.
You hear the
I
folks,
can be
right?
real quiet. I can get down on the floor
Biggles?
and crawl and stuff if you want me to. I can be real silent like.
Like I said, he's perfect.
Walking would be preferred for now, but I look forward to seeing all of your antics in the chambers.
He actually is not capable of silence.
Well, RX unit, will you be able to maintain a cone of silence, so to speak? Yes, very good. I more meant directed at the others, but I applaud your commitment. Yes, very much. Okay, come with me. And he just buzzes along. The others do not follow you. They return to their stations. So they pop off into different rooms. You guys are walking through the hallway. And you're taken to a room that you accept or kind of feel is probably around dead center of the facility. So the hallway continues beyond about the same distance you've just traveled to get here. And as you step within, we'll say it's the door on the right as opposed to the left. It is a pretty well equipped and bustling laboratory. So there are machines beeping the boops off into a corner, like running, like sounds like kind of like a printer constantly running. There is a chemistry station where there are some viscous liquids bubbling. And there is a large chair, ornate black, like leather chair, that is facing away from you at a large desk, and it swivels around as you enter. And the person there is a humanoid with completely shaved head. They're probably 40s, 50s to guess an age. There is a nasty scar that cuts from the top of their head down to just under their nose, making their face somewhat deformed. Their lab coat, which is white and pristine, is buttoned up to their absolute neck, and it has the same blue star logo on it, as well as their name, which is given as Baron Zultai. And this person, as they swivel around, actually has a. It looks like a kind of like a large iguana. If iguanas had a slight layer of fur, and he is gently stroking it on the arm of his chair.
That is a horrifying image.
And he
I love stroking the furry iguana.
And he says, "Hello, and welcome to this establishment. I am the current team lead. I am Baron Zultai. You may, when you must speak with me, you may refer to me as Baron. That's it, Baron. Yes, I like that. This is as you know, a Blue Star Corporation facility for research and development. How do you say? Let's see. V, you and I will have much fun as we go through these trials we have been preparing for the next visitors. Um, do any of you have questions for me?
Yes, Baron. Where would you like me? I'm the leader of this group. Yeah, where am I setting up?
What would be your areas of specialty?
Oh well, my degree is in mechanical and quantum engineering, so probably, and I do pretty well with computers as well.
I see. I do not have use for this. You are, how do you say, useless to me. You may join the testers.
Not like someone's overqualified.
I'm not laughing at Chris, but I am.
This might be the case, but I will have you, yes, join the testers. I would very much like to see you squirm. Learn, Yes. I I think a creature of your skill set would be illuminating. Yes, yes. We agree on this?
Like I don't have a choice.
Yes.
No, there is no choice.
Hey,
I
Mr.
realized my
Barrett,
mistake as soon as I. Okay. All right, we're testing.
Please introduce yourselves, but keep it brief because I do not care.
Mr. Barrett, man,
Slimy Van, yes.
are you gonna give us anything? For the tests?
I do not understand the
Help with
nature
them?
of this question.
I believe my friend is referring to compensation.
No.
Yes. Yes, there is financial compensation for any that survive the trials. Oh,
What?
and if you do not survive the trials, I will have you fill out some paperwork, and we will remunerate your next of kin. If you have no next of kin, we will figure something out.
This guy. Appointed seeker.
Please introduce yourselves.
Oh, me? I'm Biggles the Biscuit. Don't get me mixed up with that Biggles the Chowder. I heard he's real good. I heard there's a real good DJ out there somewhere in the diaspora. I have no idea why everybody gets me mixed up with him all the time.
You heard incorrect. He's terrible.
I heard he's the best, actually.
This is false
Otherwise,
news.
why would they be, comparing him to me? I'm the best too. Also, I have a scar too. Look at mine.
I see. Z shall, for laboratory purposes, be known as the damaged android. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Please continue introducing yourselves. This has been enlightening.
I am Dr. Munz Catharat.
For the purposes of the experiments, you shall be known as Target Alpha. We like this, yes?
Sure.
Yes. A eminent position, yes, of much virtue. Yes.
Oh, I can't wait to start this one.
Alpha Target. Please jot that down, little bugman. He's referring to Don Vim. Next.
I go by Luca 113, and I'm a pilot.
A pilot. I have no use for pilot. You will be tester. Yes.
I assumed as much.
For the purposes of these experiments, you shall be known as robot. I like this. Yes.
I kind of just look over at Rex.
Yes.
We've
Please?
established the superiority of robots over androids long ago.
Of course, RX model. Of course. I quite fond of your model myself. I think that the RX series should have been how do they say mass produced instead of overzealously protected. Next, you, the slutty one.
My name is
I cannot hear the words coming out of your mouth. Could you please?
I said my name is Ned Boromir.
I thought you said tailspin. I couldn't. I thought you said tailspin.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Would I be wrong in labeling you the junkie for these tests?
No.
Thanks.
People have done it before.
Thanks. All right. For the sake of completion, and I find completion to be a very important state to be in, what is your designation, RX series?
RX RX096.
Ooh. I believe I am familiar with your line. Um, I shall call you.
RX096.
No, no. For the purposes of these tests, which you will be undergoing with your compatriots, you shall be known as. Hmm. Hmm.
Robot 2.
I think I shall call you. I think I shall call you Numpty.
Numpty?
Yes, Numpty. I like this.
Pronounce the umpty.
Numpty.
Excuse
I have
me,
a name.
Mr. Baron, if you will.
I have a
Please,
name.
Baron.
Just Baron. I'm sorry.
Just Baron. Yes.
Baron, if you will. You mentioned a lot of things that you don't need. My skill set's very varied and numerous, and I feel like my talents might be wasted as a tester.
On this, we disagree. We disagree very hard. You see, I have created a room or series of rooms that I think would be the perfect challenge for an intellectual. And since I cannot sacrifice by contract any of the members of my team, I shall use you in their stead. You shall be the alpha target because I want to see how each of these rooms interacts with you in particular. Junkie, he could die in the first room. This would be okay. You, I expect to live much longer.
Wonderful.
Yes. And please make no mistake, I shall be, or we, my team, shall be testing you rigorously. These series of challenges, we will have you entertain as a group. Yes, I think this is fine. And the idea here is, how do you say? Um, Survival of the fittest. I find this is the best way to see what your safety precautions are truly capable of.
Dren's gonna shoot up right now.
He strokes his furry iguana as he watches you pull out the injector system, I guess. I'm going to say this one's probably an eye droplet if you're using, what was the name of it, Justin?
Foresight.
Okay, perfected foresight. Is this what you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Hold on. Okay. I need to figure out. All right.
It simply washes off because of the slime. It doesn't work.
Oh no, it's gonna work fine. I need you. Jesus Christ! I need you to make a fortitude save. The DC is 20.
Okay. Let's see what we've got going on over here. Luckily, it's my
see a 2 in your future.
I can tell you I didn't make the 20.
Right. You are now addicted to perfected foresight.
Nice.
The addiction is a DC 20 mental and physical. I don't quite know what that means. You have to figure out exactly how that works. It's the strength track, I guess, which is to say that there's debilitating effects if you do not get the drug. You get a couple of effects. First, it does work similarly to a mega opiate in that you get a +4 morale bonus to save against pain effects, and you gain damage reduction 5 for 1 hour. The major difference between this and a mega opiate, which is what Mr. used as a background, is for the next minute, which isn't going to be super useful because we're not in combat, you may retry actions, which is to say, if you fail, you are actually, what in reality is happening is you are having the image of you doing a thing, and then you have the ability to not have done the thing and do a different thing instead. You see the future a little bit, just a little bit of foresight.
6 seconds.
And it allows you to change your action. And it is 6 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of usefulness right now, not a ton.
Nope.
Although they'll have you run through, so you'll have an hour of
However,
damage
for the
reduction.
next minute, you're tripping balls as you see 6 seconds ahead of your time, and every time you divert from that, you get a whole jumble new of experiences. That's trippy.
Yeah, if you have read Mistborn, it is very much like you are burning adium, except you have no idea what the fuck is going on, and you're not trained in its use.
You guys just hear Dren go, uh-oh.
You are seeing
persona just
there's a lot of different potential Drens doing a lot of things. Like in your mind's eye, you're seeing Dren grabbing his hair and pulling it out, but you don't do that because you know that would be awkward, so nothing happens. But you saw it for 6 seconds. You saw it and you lived it, but then you went back to 6 seconds. And this happened for the full minute. So you are completely off your shit for a minute. Also, you are addicted to a very dangerous drug. It's the mega opiate I'm using as the baseline because I just wanted to kind of layer it over something. Is in the core rulebook, page 419. If you want to learn more,
I kind of do. 419.
And that's going to be useful for the how you get unaddicted and all that nonsense, and also the track of like how badly it messes your body up when you don't get the drug.
I only gave you one, by the way, so
Yeah. Don't worry, I'll be asking.
Yeah.
It is a super useful drug if you take it at the exact right time. It very well could kill you. We'll have to we'll see what the track is. We'll talk about addiction and that rule set at the beginning of our next Starfinder week. Not next week, but the week after when we return to Starfinder. We'll start off by talking about how drugs work in this rule system, so that way our viewers are on the same page as us. So Chris, if you want to read up on it and I'll read up on it as well, we can kind of attack it from the, both ends.
We're going to have our first cautionary tale.
Well, I was hoping someone would get addicted. Seeker's only drugged up once and he took the not perfected version, I think, or something else. Yep. And Mister's been working on this for some time. This is a clearly military benefit drug. If you can give a band of soldiers a minute of being able to tell the future, you kind of make them unstoppable for that minute. However, taken out of context, quite dangerous. And those soldiers aren't expected to last very long. All right. It's 10:27, so I don't really want to get into it. So I'll just have the Baron kind of looks at Dren tripping balls, and he simply says, "This is going to be so much fun." And that is where the scene will fade to black. This bald, creepy, James Bond villain-looking character clapping his hands excitedly as the screen fades to black.
I feel like it's more Austin Powers.
Well, yeah, he's gonna be more Austin Powers for sure. He's a shitty Dr. Evil.
Oh man, I can't wait to strangle this guy to
death. Yeah, I wanted to give you guys an obvious villain. When you guys are working with the rest of the team, you'll find that they are actually totally straight up kosher people. It's this caricature of a villain that is going to be problematic for you. And there are some plays to be had with the other characters. So please keep in mind there are other scientists. And if you can get them on your side, it will help you during these trials. And I will develop the trials over the next 2 weeks. Any questions for me, guys, before we wrap it up for the viewers?
Negative.
And listeners.
Alrighty. Thanks, folks, for watching. We will be jumping into the after party momentarily where we just kind of talk shop and do some nonsense. Next week will be an off week. I'm not really sure what we're doing. If I've got people interested, we might do a one-page RPG. If not, I'll play something. We'll figure it out. You can figure out what's going on by hanging out in our Discord or checking us out on Twitter, which I mentioned earlier in the show. I'm not going to again. Until next time, just remember, never split the party.
Yeah, Patrick.
How? How?
Yeah,
I am here.
You know damn well.
I don't.
Are you really here though?